Hello and welcome to, I think it's the fourth edition of the, turn the phone off.
I think it's more of your...
Fourth edition of the Bentley A&A Cricket Club for cricket show for season 2009-2010. We've got Adam Mickelson and myself, Adam Kane, who big week in Longyear Shield this week for the ones.
It was a big week, but I'm sure we'll touch on it a bit later. But it's good to see that Kane.
Yeah, the only time I get an opportunity to get a headline in the local paper will probably be the last time. But yeah, spelling my name wrong.
Oh, well, it's quite funny, but you can take out of that Dean Kane, who was Superman on with Terry Hatcher on TV for all those years. So it was a very superhuman effort on Sunday, Kane. So,
superhuman, I guess, considering that the last 12 years playing in the ones hasn't done much. So yeah, it was unexpected, but a great win.
Of course it was. Of course it was.
And of course, because we didn't talk about week one, but yourself, Adam, in the middle of the innings. After being, I think we were 3 for 64 after 42 overs at tea.
Yeah.
And yourself with Dave Fulco and Brad Dolman at the end getting us to, I guess, what we thought a competitive score.
Look, we won the toss. The ground was slow. Everyone knew that on the day. But you win the toss, you bat. Simple as that. So we won the toss and batted, and the ground was very slow. And basically West Bentley just ringed up and said, "We'll hit over the top of this if you want to score runs." So I think that was reflective in the score of 177, which we hit off the seven. We faced our 72 overs. And I think you'll run it on the last ball of the day. But yeah, it was tough going, and I was proud of the guys because we didn't throw away our wickets. Like you said, we were 3 for 60, and we never really got going at any stage during the game, but we hung in there and got 177 on the board, and it proved to be enough.
And great fielding by our boys, particularly all the young guys forward of the wicket, really made it difficult for West Bentley to
exactly right.
Get through the field.
And I think it's been evident in all our games this year, especially Carnegie South, where we had 4 run-outs, which basically turned the game. And on Saturday, even speaking with Con after the game, Compethitas, he said that the fielding was amazing. The ball didn't get through, and we took our catches and made the most of it.
I guess Brad Dolman's bowling this season has been fantastic for us. He took 4 for 27 against Carnegie South, and off I think 17 overs, took 3 for 33 on Saturday, which is great for a 21-year-old leading the bowling attack.
Well, exactly right, and Brad's vice captain this year, so we've put a bit of responsibility on Brad's shoulders, especially leading the attack with the new ball. So like you said, he's bowling well, and he took some crucial wickets on Saturday, and I hope he can keep performing, because I'd love to see him get a 25 to 30 wicket season under his belt. And
about 200 or 300 runs.
Well,
for the player,
he made about 240 last year, so if he can get to that plus 300 plus, that would be I personally believe he's probably one of the best all-rounders in the comp.
There's a lot of upside, seeing, as I said, he's only 21.
Exactly right, and he's vice captain. He's one of the leaders of the club now, so very pleased with Brad.
A&A 177 defeated West Bentley 163. It was a bit hard to get that last wicket, but
it got it's look, they were going to get a partnership sooner or later. I think we had him at one stage 8 for 86 or something like that, and then 9 for 106, and then these guys put on about 60 for the last wicket. And I think they still they had 14 runs to get, and they still had about 8 to 10 overs. So,
that's right.
It got to the stage where it was just all they got to do is hit 1 or 2 and over, and the game's over. But luckily for us, the number 11 went for the glory, and
Mickelson took a big market full forward. That was good. Good result.
Did a hamstring, but I was soured a little bit when the president ran on the ground at the end. But it was a great day. It was, and again the boys took their chances. Yeah,
so great result for the ones. We're 2-1, and moving on to Almost Shield. Probably unfortunately the ghosts of Paul Dixon, former A&A player, who took 5 for 17 off 20 overs against us. Representing Hampton United, so that rolled us for 111, and also Mark Bell taking 5 wickets. So that was a bad day for our ones, and I think we moved from none for 22s, I should say. We moved from none for 28 to 8 for 60, and would have been a lot worse had the tail not knuckled down and made some runs at the end there. I think Andy Lee top scored with 22. Glenn Wilson 18 not out, and the old Stewie Craven chipped in with about 10 or 11 as well. So the bottom of the batting card showing up the top order.
I guess the only thing for the twos to take out of this is just to learn from what happened and just be better next time.
That's right. I mean, we've had a lot of unavailabilities in the first few rounds. I think we had about 11 or 12 blokes who didn't play this round, who have all played first 11 cricket. So, and I'm sure it's the same for a lot of other clubs out there. But I guess as a result, we haven't got I guess the seniority in the second 11 as we would like, and that's why you're probably seeing some inconsistent results. I think Hampton United passed us 4 down with plenty of overs to spare, so not much to take out of that game.
And good to see Tim Irving. It's such a club man, gets written off in his car the night before, yet still makes it up on the Saturday to bowl an over. So
he was formerly known as Hollywood, but I think his nickname's moved on to Broadway after his bandages all over his face. He looked like the Phantom of the Opera. So well done to Tim for having a crack there. But I think only 2 things to note in the twos was the bowling of Glenn Wilson, who bowled 7 overs and took 1 for 13. And I think even James Coyne even bowled quite well with 9 overs, 1 for 25. So as much as it was a low target to defend, you had a couple of blokes there who showed a bit of heart, so well done to those. Moving on to D grade, our third 11. Well, what a win this was. A&A made 6 for 306, with Sammy Wolf making 84, Peter Bishop making 50, Simon White making 39 not out, and someone else was in the runs too from memory, and I can't recall. I think, Simon made 39, and the old Raimondo, Desi Falconer, stayed away from the phone and made a few runs with 34 not out. So well done to those boys. But I guess even more impressive was the bowling, where we rolled Brighton Union for 49 with the evergreen Bob Dolman taking 6 for 10. How old's Bob? He'd be about 50 years old, I'd say.
If that.
Yeah.
If that.
And comes up, gets promoted from the fourths to the thirds, and chimes in with that. So
he hasn't played thirds cricket for a couple of years, I don't think.
No, that's right. So congratulations to Bob.
But was that against Brighton Union's threes or fours?
Brighton Union's thirds.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, no, their seconds are playing Will No Shield.
So they're the same boat as us.
Yeah, that's right.
But for their thirds to get rolled for 49, I thought they would have had better depth than that.
Well, they've only got 4 sides. So,
Brighton Union?
Yeah,
have they?
Yeah, that's right. So
surprising as well.
Yeah, so there you go. And A&A went for the outright. Couldn't get all the wickets. Finished 5 for 97. So well done to the thirds. The fourths haven't had the best of years. They're 0-3 after losing again on the weekend. All out for 123, unfortunately. And I think the best of the batsmen there was Brett Arnfield, who made 61 out of that 123. And obviously the wheels fell when he went out. They lost to Hyatt West, who made 233. Chris Vassell took 5 for 59. And in his 300th game for the club, Frank Licano took 3 for 56. And I think we had another bat after that and made 2 for 82. But back on Frank, he's one of only 4 players at the club to reach the 300 game milestone. The other 3 being Bob Wilson, Cedric Jansen, John Bacon. So well done to Frank for achieving such a great milestone. That was well respected at the rooms on Saturday night during match reports. In the fifths, Bentley A&A all out for 199, defeated Carnegie South all out for 106. Out of A&A's 199, Adam El-Khoury scored 82. So well done to Adam. I think they were like 5 for 60 or something like that. And then when Paul Knight joined him, who made about 34, I think it was, they took the score to 160. So to a competitive score, 199. And as mentioned, Carnegie South all out for 106 with Benny Biggs rolling them with 5 for 16. So well done to Ben. Sixers were in a very tight game. They rolled the opposition for 92, I think it was. And overnight, A&A were, I think it was 6 for 52. So that was a bit scary. A&A's bowling, Pat Gatto took 4 for 40 in his first game as captain for the 6-11. So well done to Pat.